You ever look at something and just wonder, why is it like that? Well, today we're going to do just that. We're diving into a classic American Indian tale about a turtle who wanted to fly. So the big question, the one this whole story answers, is this. Why does a turtle's shell look like a cracked mosaic? It's beautiful, right? But it turns out there's a really cool story behind it. It's what's called a pourquoi tale, which, hey, is just a fancy French way of saying a why story. And here he is. This is where our story ends up. Look at that shell. You might see cracks, but that's not the whole story. How did he get them, and why does he look so proud? See, that pattern, it's not a flaw. It's more like a map of one heck of an adventure. And we're about to read it together. All right, so where does this all begin? Well, like a lot of great stories, it starts with the seasons changing. Picture this. It's autumn. The leaves are turning, and Turtle is just hanging out with his friends, the birds. But the birds? They're all excited, chirping about their big trip south for the winter, to stay warm. And for Turtle, who, let's be honest, can't fly, this news sends a shiver down his spine. And it's not from the cold. He's absolutely desperate. He doesn't want to be left behind, so he just begs them, "Can I come with you? There has to be a way." And you can just feel that panic, right? At first, the birds are like, "No way. How could a turtle fly?" But you know what? Turtle, he just wouldn't give up. And his pleading, it started to work. And finally, they cave. They agree to help him. And this, right here, is the big turning point. A plan starts bubbling up, a mix of friendship and some seriously clever thinking. The impossible is about to happen. Okay, so how in the world are they going to get a turtle to fly? Well, the plan they came up with was, let's just say it was as brilliant as it was dangerous. It breaks down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, find a really strong stick. Got it. Step 2, Turtle has to bite down on the middle of that stick with everything he's got. And step 3, 2 of the strongest birds grab the ends, and up they go. Simple, right? But, man, so risky. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? So the whole thing, the entire flight, his whole dream, it all came down to one single rule. Do not open your mouth. I mean, think about it. That powerful jaw he usually uses to protect himself, now it's his ticket to ride. Literally everything depended on him just holding on. And it works! The plan is a go and Turtle is flying. But you know how it is. Success can puff you up with pride. And pride, well, pride often comes right before a fall. And in this case, a very painful one. Just try to imagine what this must have felt like for Turtle. He's actually doing it. He's soaring. He looks down and sees the whole world getting smaller and smaller below him. He's just filled with this incredible wonder, but also, and this is key, a whole lot of pride starts to swell up inside him. So on one side, you've got this amazing triumphant flight, but here's the problem. As they're flying, Turtle is bursting to talk to the birds, to tell them how amazing this is. He starts trying everything, waving his little legs, rolling his eyes, but they're way up there. They can't hear him. And that pride, it starts to curdle into pure frustration. And in that moment of frustration, he forgot. He forgot the one, single, most important rule. He was just so desperate to be heard, to share what he was seeing, that he made a huge mistake. He opened his mouth to talk, and he let go. Just like that, it was over. He just tumbles out of the sky, falling, and then a hard, painful landing. In a single, awful second, his big dream met reality and gravity. But wait, the story doesn't actually end there. That incredible fall, it wasn't just an ending. It was a beginning, a transformation. So when he finally hits the ground, he's in so much pain, his whole body just aches. He doesn't even notice what happened to his shell, that it's completely cracked all over. All he knows is that he needs to find some relief. So he drags himself to a pond, burrows deep into the cool mud, and just passes out into this long, deep sleep. So let's just do a quick recap of his timeline here. Autumn, that's the big flight and the even bigger fall. Winter, he spends the whole season sleeping, healing, buried in the mud. And then comes spring, and that's when something really amazing happens. And this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the lasting mark Turtle carries, and what it really means for his legacy. So when spring comes and Turtle finally wakes up, he sees his reflection in the water. And you'd think he'd be ashamed, right? But he's not. And this is the beautiful twist in the whole story. Those cracks, they weren't scars. They were a story, a map of his incredible adventure, and he was so proud of them. A forever reminder of that one time he actually touched the sky. And that brings us right back to the beginning. This tale is a perfect example of a pourquoi tale. It's a story, yeah, but it's a story with a job to explain why something in nature is the way it is. It's how we use stories to make sense of the world around us. Pretty cool, huh? And so, the story goes that every single turtle you see from that day on carries that same pattern. It's the legacy of their one super ambitious ancestor. So those cracks, they're not a sign of weakness. No way. They're a badge of honor, a story of ambition, of flying, of falling, and of living to tell the tale. Stories like this, they just make you want to look at the world a little differently, you know? So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Next time you're out and about and you see a turtle, or heck, even a zebra with its stripes, just stop for a second and ask yourself, what kind of story is written there?